Hello and welcome to Metatron's message for June of 2017. My name is Susan Alexander. I have a Facebook page of Angelic Vibrations and a website angelicvibrations.net. There is no overriding message at the present time that Metatron has made me aware of, so what I'm going to do is to comment on some of the things that have been happening in the world collectively that affect everyone. It seems in recent times, Metatron was saying that we are being challenged to look within, that the tragedies which have been around us and the upheaval that these tragedies have caused on a personal level, on a collective level, and also because of the ramifications that these tragedies have brought to light, we are being asked to look within, to actually take back our power and ensure that what happens is for our collective good, that we no longer hand over our power to others who are being placed in positions of authority over us to supposedly make our lives better, to protect us, to ensure that we have safety and security, rather than giving our power to others. We are being asked to take responsibility in our own world to ensure that everything is done to keep us safe and thereby able to do the work that we have to do on this earth. It seems to be a constant reminder that where we as a collective group are no longer in control of, for example, building our own homes, and we are removed from the decision-making process of what happens in those homes, in the building of those homes. This is where Metatron is pointing out what he's showing basically is that we become like someone who has a blindfold on with a tiny little slit, not an eye hole, a slit drawn in it that we are able to see through only, so that we are no longer able to be in control of or aware of what is happening around us. And this is a wake-up call for everyone to take back the control, to once again listen to what is going on, to be aware of what is happening, to ask questions. Metatron is saying that for too long we have been content, or yes, we have been content to allow others to make the decisions. What he's showing me is someone who is throwing their hands up in the air. It's all past me, it's beyond me. I don't have anything to do with it, therefore it is not my problem, it is not my fault. But we have to take back that feeling of it is not my fault. Not that it is a fault, but we are responsible for our own little area of the world, our own area of our life. And if we hand that responsibility over to somebody else, then we can't be responsible for what happens. Metatron is saying that the time has come in many ways for us collectively to reevaluate those people whom we freely support. He's talking about our elections. He is saying that we need to be aware that we have the ability, the authority, by voting to ensure that we try and choose people who are ethical, honest, have integrity. We're being asked to return to what may be considered old-fashioned values: honesty, integrity, justice, honor, the virtues that I, from my reading, I can remember reading about them in described in the 18th century. They were the standard by which people ordered and orchestrated their lives. They were the standards by which they supported people to run their countries, represent their countries on the world stage. And it is time for that responsibility, for those virtues, for those values to once again come forward. And they'll come forward first through the medium of choosing who and what we listen to and we support, those things that we choose, and where we disagree with what is happening, to actually have a voice. We have to own our voice. It's one of the reasons why there are so many people who seem to be suffering from throat-related issues, whether it is simply throat infections because they're not able to speak their truth, through to people who have any kind of throat issue that they have. It is because they are not speaking their truth. They are not holding to the values that they actually believe in, but they are not speaking out about. And what I'm seeing is a host of people behind me, not just my ancestors or our ancestors, but the archangels and the angels who are all there waiting to come in and support us once we make the decision to return to being in integrity again, to speaking our truth, and not only speaking our truth, but representing the greater good. What I'd like to do now is so that you actually, first of all, Now that I've done that, I want to spray the Metatron's white spray, just to, because I feel there's another energy trying to come through. So the white spray, which is beautiful white light, which clears away things that have happened, things that have gone, things that have said. It's great for if heated words have been spoken, you can spray the white spray and it will clear the energetic residue away from you. Now, what is it that I am being asked to? First of all, Metatron wishes to what I'm being asked to do is to acknowledge in the most recent times, the most recent couple of months, the number of people whose lives have been lost, and the people who are left behind and suffering, and in particular for those people who still have a question mark over their family members. And so I'm spraying Metatron's Bluebell Bridge around me. Bluebell Bridge for loss and grief. And I want everyone to imagine being surrounded by fields of bluebells. Soft, delicate bluebells. Bluebells are by nature they are one of the first flowers that come out in spring. So in the northern hemisphere, they come out in spring. And they come out, they have a fragile stem, but they come out in a huge multitude, so that there is a beautiful blue blanket stretching out with these gorgeous flowers. And the Bluebell Bridge represents the bridge by which we are able to greet those who have gone and passed over, to be able to say a final farewell from this life, remembering always that they are still here, still with us. They are only a thought away, a heartbeat away from us. They will reside within our hearts eternally until we join them. And a message I'm getting for everyone who has lost someone recently, or Metatron is saying even not recently, but anyone who is suffering from grief because of the loss of a loved one, is to remind you that as painful as this may be, and it is, and it may return again and again until we are able to process this, that love does not leave when the spirit leaves the body. The love remains with us always. It is wrapped around us. It holds our hearts as we hold theirs. It is, he says, truly eternal. Love never changes. Love cannot die. And it's beautiful. Thank you, Metatron. And also, for those who are, we know that there are always, with the huge tragedies that we see and hear about, there are the not lesser tragedies, he says, but individual tragedies which occur every day in every part of the world. He says there is always someone who is going back to the light. They are transitioning. And so he offers us his rainbow bridge to help all those who are ready to cross, but maybe he says there are those who will hang on so tightly to this life, to the breath that they take, because of either fear for what lies ahead or for fear and love of those who are left behind. So to those people who have either just lost someone or who are faced with a coming loss, Metatron offers you the rainbow bridge, and he asks you, when you are with your loved one, when you are by yourself and you are feeling low, when you are feeling the pain, to see before you this beautiful, iridescent, glowing, welcoming rainbow bridge. Not the colours that we are used to, but colours we have yet to see. This beautiful, iridescent, incandescent, but welcoming rainbow bridge that we know so well. And we are invited to step upon this rainbow bridge. We can help our loved ones to cross this rainbow bridge. We can help them, and we can ask Metatron to come and stand by their side, to walk with them as they cross the rainbow bridge. The rainbow bridge which is there for every soul. And he asks for you to place your trust in his hand, to surrender to him your fear, your worry, and allow him to let you lean on him, lean on his strength, and allow him to help you to cross the rainbow bridge. So you may cross into the light and see There is no fear. He can take that fear from you. All you have to do is place it within his hands, and he will guide you. Metatron says the rainbow bridge is eternal. It has been eternal. It has been in existence for as long as time has been. It will endure. As spirits, we will endure, and the rainbow bridge is there to ease our passage. And his bluebell bridge is there to ease our suffering and allow us, with the rainbow bridge, to once again meet those who have crossed over, those whom we love. We are not holding them back, he says. We are not preventing them from being able to go on. They can, at will, come back and see us, to ease our suffering. It's because theirs has now ended. They are now wrapped in the light, and there is no more fear, no more pain, no more worry. There is only love. And they are happy to return and share their love once more with us. So that's beautiful. Thank you, Metatron. And here's I'd like to actually draw a couple of cards for us to get some guidance to go through this coming month of June. Remembering that July. July is still in the cusp of the ascension period. It is a period when we may see many of our loved ones who are ready crossing over, as much as we will see many who are ready to take the final step and embrace those features of the fifth dimensional living and ascend into the fifth dimension. Unconditional love, compassion, honesty, integrity, justice, love, 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 he keeps saying. I'm using today the Universal Prophecy deck by Julie Mackenzie, one of our Australian ladies. And the first card he's given me is love. Love, a beautiful affirmation that what the message that I've been giving you is important to you. And she says on the card, it is safe to feel the splendor of love. Let go of fear and tell that special someone how you feel. Allow the truth of love to guide your heart and soul. Beautiful, beautiful affirmation. Love is what we need. Love is one of our guiding principles, and it is only once we return to love again, we put aside our third dimensional emotions of hatred, of malice, of envy, spite, cruelty. We have to put aside all of those, and if we allow our heart to be filled with the unconditional love for everyone and shine that light out as a candle, it is said that from one candle 1,000 candles may be lit. From one small light, the whole world can be lit and will be alive with the light of love. It is something that we must all be aware of. It is something that can make our world the beautiful place it is meant to be. And the second card is move. And what I'm drawn to before I read the message is not just that we have a beautiful woman here, but if you look closely, she is balanced. She's leaning. I mean, it looks as if she has a support, but she's not really holding on to that for support. She is leaning against the wind. The wind is blowing her to one side, and yet you can see that the most important message for me here is you have the storm clouds here, and you have the lighter clouds here, the clouds that are filled with the sunshine. Excuse me. Throat issues. You have the clouds here, the light clouds. The wind is blowing across. You can see her hair's moving this way, but the clouds are moving this way. What I'm drawn to is the light that is coming into her, the light that is shining across from her. And not only that, she is not dark. She has this beautiful pink for love dress. And she's being asked to move. It says, listen to the new energy that brings through new beginnings. Listen to the new energy that brings through new beginnings. Remove it must be my eyesight, unfortunately. Please forgive me. Remain positive to move forward fearlessly. So we're being asked to focus on the light. If you want to interpret it a different way, you could imagine she's on a trapeze and she's balanced on the beam, but she has one toe on the beam. She's not being pushed to one side. It's telling me, the card tells me that she is looking to the light. She is optimistic. She isn't worried about what may be behind her or what may be, the wind may be blowing her way. She's quite happy, and she has the courage to move ahead. She has the trust in spirit to move ahead. There is nothing that she needs to worry about. She has a joy-filled heart. She has a heart filled with love, and with that love, she knows no fear. And the final card from this at the moment is the Goddess. And we see a beautiful woman in repose. She is assured of her own place in life. She is powerful in her own right. She is contented and happy to be in control of her existence and her ability to influence those around her with her inherent wisdom. Allow the strength of your inner goddess to shine. You have the power to change the situation. Let the essence of your light dance at your, as you nurture your feminine strength. We're being asked once again to bring forth the divine feminine. This is not to negate the divine masculine, which resides in each one of us. And there must always be a true balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. But we have lived in a patriarchal world for too long, and the patriarchal world has not served us. We are now being asked to allow the inner goddess to shine forth. We're being asked, if we believe in our own truth, that we stand up and we speak our own truth. We own it. We own it not simply to ourselves, but to all those who happen to see us, to hear us. And we speak it. We speak it fearlessly. We have the opportunity to become the balance that is required through being our own inner goddess, to allow the divine feminine to become an equal voice, an important voice within the world. And on the bottom of the pack, we have serenity. And what I don't want to read the message. What I want to show you is that we started with love. We then had move. And finally we had goddess. And to finish the message off, we're being told that if we do all these things, if we love, if we move, if we allow ourselves, if we allow those feelings, those thoughts, those emotions, the expression of our truth, if we allow them to come free, if we embody our inner goddess, if we allow her to step forth, if we own her and put any fears to one side, then we will achieve a place of serenity. This peace that we have here that is shown. The pink again, pink for love. The new buds, the open flowers, the beautiful light, we're being asked to allow serenity to flow through. And what I'd like to do now, after that message, to to be able to allow that message that we've been given to take root in fertile ground, in fertile soil inside each and every one of us. As I said, the divine feminine resides within each man as much as the divine masculine resides within each woman, so that we allow the divine feminine to once more rise, so that the world may once again have the harmony of the duality of both divine feminine and divine masculine. I would like to spray this, again it's another blue spray, the Sapphire Peace Spray, which fits in with the reading I've just given you, to spray the Sapphire Peace Spray, to allow that to fertilize the seed that we have planted. The seed that we have planted, that we wish to grow, to create a better way, a better world, a better life, not just for myself and for you, but for each person on earth. Metatron is saying that no matter what has happened, no matter what circumstances we have found ourselves in, we can always choose the way of peace. We can choose to allow peace to flourish. When peace is allowed to flourish, it is like a garden that has been well tended. The flowers grow, the flowers bloom, there is perfume in the air. Even as a flower dies, the seeds return to the earth to be fertilized once more and to grow again. Peace will reign as long as you wish it to be part of your existence, part of your life. Allow the messages that are being sent to you to be heard. Open your heart, open your mind. Listen to the dreams you have been sent to bring you the message of how you can add peace to your life, add peace to the collective life, and how in the collective unconditional love may then grow unfettered to allow the ascension of each and every one of us who so chooses, and to allow Mother Gaia, the earth upon which we live, who gives us sustenance and life and a home, to allow Mother Gaia to also to ascend with us. She will ascend with or without us. But we have the opportunity to ascend with her. We have the opportunity to choose how we respond. Wherever we respond with hatred and fear, envy and malice, three-dimensional emotions, we will find that there will be these terrible tragedies and horrors occurring. When we move ourselves into the state of acceptance and love, when we decide to have our lives orchestrated by justice, equality, harmony, compassion, forgiveness, and unconditional love and peace, then our world can be a miraculous place. It's one of the final things that I do for you today. I would like to spray the lime heart spray, because it is the lime heart spray. We've been talking about love, we've been talking about peace, and we've been talking about acceptance. And all of these changes and all of these emotions and feelings come from the heart. So let us feed the heart now with this beautiful lime green spray. The lime green heart spray Metatron has gifted to us. Breathe in those beautiful lime green rays. Allow it to soothe your heart. Allow it to fill up your heart, those places inside your heart that may have become withered because of pain and loss and fear and hurt. Allow the lime green to fill it and allow that blood to be able to pump freely and easily through your veins, through your heart, through your very being, to allow your heart to be able to accept the love that is there for it at all times. And I will seal everything in by spraying the beautiful spiritual protection spray. Beautiful. I can always smell cloves when I spray this. Allow it to seal in your aura. Allow it to feel it sealing in your aura, sealing in those beautiful feelings of love and friendship and peace and harmony and joy. No matter whether you are in the northern hemisphere where it is summer or the southern hemisphere where it is winter, there are always flowers blooming somewhere. There are always birds flying. There are always animals and trees and grass. There is always the sky and the sea and the whales and the dolphins, the fish. Every creature imaginable is still on the earth. We are still on the earth. We are still here. We still have the opportunity to share the beautiful love that we have been given, that we can share and make this world a beautiful place. We can make ourselves into gods and goddesses ready with unconditional love to step into the fifth dimensional reality, to ascend into the fifth dimensional reality and be all that we can be. And on that note, I would like to wish you a wonderful July. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful life. And offer love and kindness and compassion wherever you may be, to whomever you can, because it will return to you 1,000-fold. Namaste.